Yeah, we did. And Antonio Gibson definitely showed up. 110 yards for 3 touchdowns. That's the Dallas defense just continues to disappoint. I don't know why they're so bad, but they're that bad. It's crazy. But the main thing is what turned this game, because it was a 4-point game in the fourth quarter, is that mind-boggling going for fourth on that fake punt. That was probably the worst play call I've ever seen in my entire life. Gave us perfect field position, scored on the next play, I think. I think it was one play, 24-yard run by Antonio Gibson, and then we just ran away from there. So it was fantastic. And, yeah, McLaurin had, another 92-yard day. Pretty much the only bad thing I saw was the pick by Alex Smith that was just horrible. He was falling back, threw it right into Jalen Smith's hands. But outside of that, we played a great game. Oh, the second bad thing I should say is that Ronald Darby just stopped on that deep pass to Amari Cooper. But outside of those two things, I thought we played fantastic, and it was fun to watch. It was a great Thanksgiving. How's it going? He stopped. I don't know why he stopped. It was weird. – 11 touchdowns, 11 games.
Was against the Cowboys defense, but I guess you could say the same thing about Gibson too. So, but no, it was just great to see Gibson go off and have one of those great games and really put him in the Rookie of the Year conversation at this point, especially in the NFC. But no, Terry McLaurin. I mean, I thought he would have gone off as well, but he did play solid, and I think the play of the game, in my opinion, was probably when he chased down Jalen Smith, because right after he made that play, I was like, you know what, this might come up big towards the end of the game. We might need these points, right? And he saved us 4 points on that play pretty much. And Terry McLaurin's been balling out. He is a stud. He will be a stud. We need to sign him long term, in the relatively short order. And but I think we played solid. Obviously, we won, and we won big. But I think
Huge.
overall,
Yeah.
all three phases of the game played really well. I know the Cowboys shot themselves in the foot a lot, but No, we played.
It was that one play. I don't know what they were thinking that one play.
Yeah.
That was a horrible play call, right?
Yeah.
You're on your own 24, 4th and 10, and then you do a reverse where the guy has it 20 yards behind the first down line. It was a great play design. I loved it.
Yeah. People forget though, like there's another 4th down, and I talked to Ed about this. There's another 4th down earlier in the game where it was like 4th and inches on the Cowboys side of the field, and they decided to throw it out wide to CeeDee Lamb rather than just doing like a QB sneak or running it up the gut. I mean, I didn't understand that, but I guess it wasn't as egregious as that big 4th and 10 that was atrocious.
Yeah, arguably they should have got PI, but we're not going to talk about that part. It's fine. Yeah. Ronald Darby, great play.
Yeah. But moving on though from the actual game, I was just wondering, what do you guys think of Alex Smith so far? Do you think he's shown enough to be the starting quarterback for us? If not, throughout the rest of the season, maybe even towards next season, because I know there have been talks about Washington keeping him for at least next season. Just wondering what your thoughts are on his performance so far, and do you think he could keep it going as the weeks go on? And we can start with Juan this time.
Yeah, like if you guys haven't, seen my video, I'm all for keeping Alex Smith as next year. I already said, I stated my case. Even if we don't win this division, Alex Smith should be the starting quarterback in 2020. And I guarantee you, like I said, Ron Rivera, we know he loves his veterans. If he was ready before, the season started, if he was ready for training camp to begin with, I believe they would have rolled with Alex Smith. And as you can just see, it's just this, this sense of comfort with Alex Smith. Like, you're sitting back there and you just like, you feel comfortable in his arms. You feel comfortable when he has to drop back and pass. You know what I'm saying? Not the same for Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins drop back, you think it's either going to be a sack or interception. You know what I'm saying? So with Alex Smith dropping back there, it's just this sense of comfort that this veteran presence, he's going to, go through his progressions. He's going to take his check downs. I just feel more comfortable with Alex Smith, and I feel that he could be the guy for the next 2 years until, we draft the guy, or in my opinion, I think Kyle Allen should take over. But, a lot of people don't agree with me on that part. But back to Alex Smith, I think he should be the quarterback for at least the next 2 years, because with Alex Smith as the quarterback, we will always be in this division.
Tim, what are your thoughts?
Well, I said if he was healthy, I wanted him to start week 1. That was my take. If he was healthy, since he was not suiting up, I figured he was not healthy enough to play. I don't know. I think he was healthy enough to play this whole time, so it's kind of disappointing that he didn't get the start week 1. And even when Dwayne Haskins decided they bench him, they did not play Alex Smith then. But I love Alex Smith. He's a winner everywhere he's gone. He's a winning record in each team. He's 8-5 for us, the only winning quarterback in the last 25 years for the Washington football team. And yeah, he just wins wherever he goes. He's the ultimate game manager, right? We don't think he's Aaron Rodgers. We don't think he's Russell Wilson. He's not fantastic, but what he does is he keeps the time of possession in your favor. He keeps field position in your favor, and he doesn't turn the ball over. And those are the 3 most important things to not lose games. They don't necessarily win you games, but they don't lose games, and it allows the rest of your team, when you have a 110-yard rusher with 3 touchdowns, you win the game.
Yeah. I mean, he's been throwing a couple of picks, so far in his starts this year, but I totally understand that he is the true game manager that you want. But Dubs, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts I've been saying Alex Smith was going to be the starting quarterback for this team. I mean, they pretty much said it all, but I've been hollering all year that Alex Smith would be the starter. Ron did not want to move away from him. You can tell that in the back of his mind, he knew who he wanted as the starting quarterback for this team.
Yeah. No, that last point is key. We sort of knew that the writing was on the wall for Dwayne coming into the season, and he didn't really put up great enough performances to prove otherwise, right? Like,
you know what's funny? Because he got hurt at 6-3, and he got his first start at 3-6.
I mean, fate, I guess. I don't know.
That's kind of strange, but that's too funny.
Yeah.
And then when he started, I guess, starting as the starting quarterback for the Washington football team. Then we started winning. Yeah. So I mean, like you said, Tim, he is the ultimate game manager, but he is also the ultimate winner, at least in the regular season. And He keeps winning for us. He's been the best winning quarterback, I guess, that we've had for a long time, and I'm grateful to have.
He's the
him
only
on.
winning quarterback since Mark Ripien, back in
Yeah.
91, 92. That he's the only one with a winning record. If you go through all the quarterbacks, he's the only one. It's nuts. It's crazy to think that we haven't had one quarterback with a winning record.
I just couldn't believe that everybody was trashing him, and he was the only quarterback with a winning record for us.
I mean, so I wasn't one of those people who was like trashing him. Like I always recognize, Alex Smith, what he's been through, what he's come back from. It's just been extraordinary, and he is the ultimate winner. He's the ultimate game manager. For me personally, like in his time in Washington, I understand that he's been able to win games, but you have to give credit to the defenses that he's had when he's been here in Washington. Like when he was on that 6-3 start, I don't think people could tell you that it was Alex Smith. Right, that was the reason for why we ended up being 6-3. I think the defense was really what carried the team that year, and I think this year the defense plus Terry and now Antonio Gibson coming along, I feel like those players, those components are more important right now than Alex Smith as to determining whether or not we win or not. And Alex Smith, I mentioned this before, Tim, but he has been throwing a couple more picks than usual the last couple games, which is not what
when you haven't played in 2 years, you're coming off a tragic injury. And he does need to stop turning. As I said, it was a bad pick against the Cowboys, and I don't remember each pick from now on. But when you go back and look at that 6-3, if he didn't turn the ball over and AP had at least 80 yards rushing, we won the game. And you could say it's AP that got it the 80 yards, and he's a great running back, a Hall of Famer, and he was good when he was here. But it also takes a lot for a quarterback to call the right play at the line, to make the right read, to see, okay, yes, we're going to run to the right here. We're going to run to the left. We're going to run up the middle. We're going to blah, blah, blah. We're going to throw here. And he put our team in the best situation, being able to read the defense. And yes, he's not going to flash you with all his great stats because he doesn't usually have them. But what he does is he's I don't know how more to explain it other than he does game manage, hardly turns the ball over, and he wins you the time of possession and field position. It's so huge for Alex Smith, and when you have somebody like even Kyle Allen that's thrown a lot of picks, or Dwayne Haskins, or Case Keenum, that these guys they don't do it for you when your team's not fantastic, like the Minnesota Vikings that year when they went to the championship game.
Yeah, and it's a breath of fresh air, right, for this franchise. Like, how many quarterbacks have we gone through that just turned the ball over? I know a lot of people liked, Kirk Cousins when he was here, but even he had his own interception concerns and all that. So, yeah, like you said.
Warpath said, check Brad Johnson.
Brad. Yeah, I mean.
Wait, what about Brad?
He says, check Brad Johnson, fellas.
Does he have a winning record? I'll look it up. Go ahead. You can keep going, though.
Maybe. But, no, regardless, though, Alex Smith, I do like, the consistent play that he's brought here in Washington, irregardless of, the lack of stats, I guess, lack of touchdowns, stuff like that. But moving on from Alex Smith, what do you guys think, with COVID going on and the NFL moving around games and stuff? We're seeing the Ravens-Steelers game right now, and I was just wondering, what are your guys' thoughts on, all these games shifting around, particularly our Washington-Pittsburgh game being shifted to Monday afternoon after being scheduled originally for Sunday at 1 p.m., I believe. So
whoever that was is correct. They did have a winning record, but forgive me, it's been 20 years then, not 25. It's only been 20 years, guys. It's not that big of a deal. All right.
What I think about the games moving around is, hey, we lucky we just getting football. If they move them, I don't care what day they move them. We need football on.
Yeah.
I mean, man.
Cancel any games. Fingers crossed. But Tim, what are your thoughts?
I don't know what the criteria is for moving a game, allowing a game to happen when there are some COVID players. I don't understand it completely, because if I'm the Broncos, I want a delayed game. I have no quarterback. But no, I have to play my game on Sunday, even though I have no quarterback to play. But then the Ravens get extra time to try to get people back, or, the Titans, I think, had the first outbreak, and they're allowed to switch to their bye week. But also the Patriots, they have Cam Newton out against Kansas City. where that's a big game for them against the Kansas City team, where they played extremely well. If they had a decent quarterback, maybe they actually pull an upset there. But it seems very not consistent, and it's just very odd to me how they decide these things. But I completely agree with Dubs. At least we have football. It's great.
Juan, are you same line of thinking there?
Yeah, I mean, when I first heard that we were going to get moved to Monday, obviously we all know the instant thought was, oh man, we don't perform well on Monday night. But then as I found out that Pittsburgh was getting moved to Wednesday, I was like, okay, a little more, less rest for them, more rest for us. But then you guys remember last time early in the season when we had a bye week, we came out playing trash. So I hope that doesn't happen this week. But that's that thought that's in my head that could always happen. I said after that Dallas performance, why not have us on Thursday night every week? Give us only 2 days to rest. If we're gonna come out playing like that, we don't need a mini bye week or a bye week. But all seriousness, I like it. I'm sorry. I know I don't want COVID around, but if you're gonna flex games throughout the whole week, man, what more could it? That's NFL heaven for an NFL fan like me and like you guys. I love having games all throughout the week. Wednesday, 3:45, I could turn on a football game. I love it. But of course, I don't want COVID to be here, so it'll eventually get back to normal.
Yeah. I think we all especially like the whole, Monday night double headers, right? I know that a lot of people are talking about on Twitter of it being a good idea maybe for the long term. But yeah, I definitely agree. It's great to have football on every single night. And even when you don't know what night it's going to be on, it's still great regardless. I do want to say, though, in terms of us in us moving our game to Monday, I don't think it's going to benefit us, and I don't think it's going to hurt us. I'm sort of like indifferent on it. I think with it being on Monday afternoon, I know there's going to be more eyes on it just because there's no other games going on. I don't think it's going to, again, hurt us too much because, we show that we could perform under the bright lights right on Thanksgiving, and I think we could do maybe sort of well on Monday. I know it's against a tougher team, but I think we could still do sort of well and maybe not wet the bed like we have done on Monday nights prior. So I do agree with Corey, though. Got to stop.
Really not a night game for me. What time is the game out there?
And on
Monday? Yeah, on Monday.
At 5.
5, yeah.
Oh, so it's 2:00 for me. So I get to see a game at 2:00.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you was in California. I thought you was over here. That's first.
Man.
No, so it should be interesting. It should be interesting to see how COVID plays a role in the rest of the season. Hopefully we don't get any cancellations, and at the very worst, they just move games around and, nothing gets canceled. But I do also want to ask you more about the matchup on Monday. I know the Steelers are playing right now, which is sort of weird, right? Asking you about the next game while the Steelers are playing. But I was just wondering, what are you guys' thoughts on the Monday game between Washington and the Steelers? Do you think we have a chance? Do you think we could possibly pull off the upset? Very unlikely, but do you think that could happen? Or do you think we'll get blown out? What are you guys' thoughts on key matchups potentially in the matchup? And do you think the Steelers will come ready on Monday after this very short week for them? You can start with Tim this time.
I consider myself a realist. But it's going to be tough to play the Steelers. Chris Sports Talk, one of my consistent viewers, is very confident we're going to beat the Steelers. So I like when he's right rather than me. But no, it's going to be really, really tough. Only good news is it sucks when injuries are good news, but Bud Dupree got hurt in this game, and it could be serious that he may miss our game, which would definitely help our O-line not have to go against TJ Watt and Bud Dupree. But it's going to be a really tough matchup. I don't think we should be getting blown out because Jack Del Rio has taken a stance that he doesn't want to get beat deep. That's why he's keeping his corners really far back. He's basically saying the offense is going to have to play perfect to score a touchdown on me. And the last few weeks, we've actually been pretty darn good in the red zone of keeping teams out and forcing field goals. And if we can somehow do that, I think it could be a close game. Running the ball is definitely going to be important to not make not let TJ Watt have free shots on Alex Smith. But we obviously I think we have a chance. It's a pretty low chance, maybe like 15%. It's going to be tough, and but that's why we have to play the games, guys.
Yep. Yep. Juan, what are your thoughts?
Hey, man. Like I said, and like we all know, any given Sunday, or in this case, any given Monday. But to answer your questions, y'all that you asked within this question, will they be ready? I'm pretty sure they'll be ready. They're 11-0 for a reason, so they're going to adjust. They're a great football team. Mike Tomlin is a great head coach. But I'm pretty sure our guys are going to be ready. Like Tim said, Bud Dupree just got hurt, and then of course we know with Landon Collins, non-contact injuries are never a good injury. And the way that he was banging the ground, he knew something popped. I'm hoping for the best, but unfortunately, injuries are a part of the game. So I guess that's good, but I never like taking moral victories. But I mean, I guess that's good because now we only have to shift our focus to TJ Watt. And I know I was just having this conversation with one of my friends in the group chat that I'm in. He's like, oh, good. If you think anyone could block TJ Watt, you're retarded or whatever, right? So I'm saying Morgan Moses is having a Pro Bowl year. I'm not saying he's going to block TJ Watt, but I'm confident with Morgan Moses. From a guy that can play left and right tackle, a healthy Morgan Moses is dangerous. Not saying he's going to block TJ Watt, but I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park for TJ Watt either. But I digress. So, do I think that we have a chance? Yes, I do. I think we have a good chance. If you guys seen this game that just went off air, Pittsburgh did not have a good game. I'm sorry. Pittsburgh versus the NFC East, they struggled with the Giants. They struggled with the Eagles. Eagles almost beat them. And they struggled with Dallas with their third-string quarterback in the game. Or even fourth-string quarterback, as you get the Gilbert person. So we have a chance.
You play down to their competition.
Yeah, we have a chance. And Pittsburgh, they're 11-0 for a reason, but don't let the record scare you, man. We're coming in hot. We're coming in confident, and I really do think we have a chance. And we'll talk about that more as the stream goes
on. Yeah, Dubs, what are your thoughts?
Run the ball.
Run
the ball, and man, if we want to beat them, we got to keep that clock ticking. Yeah. We got to run the ball down their throat and keep the clock ticking. We got to play one of those games where you eat the clock. But like Juan said, they're not good against this division. And I don't want to get swept, but we don't want another team to sweep our division like the Rams swept this division. So I think we got to be the team to go out and hand them that loss in this division.
Yeah. I do agree that, like, us running the ball would probably give us the best chance because the Steelers defense, for how good they are, I guess, a little weaker when it comes to stopping the run, and Antonio Gibson should have a good game. Or at least J.D. McKissick should get involved and stuff. But I don't know. It's going to be tough. Their secondary is elite. They got Minkah Fitzpatrick in the slot. Terry, I know he usually feasts no matter who's up against him, but might be a tough game for him this week. I do worry, though, even without Bud Dupree, got T.J. Watt against our offensive line. And we've shown in the past that even when we have, mediocre offensive lines, if the opposing team has one stud pass rusher, just all falls to shambles, and maybe that could happen this week. Hopefully not, but don't have my hopes up too high, at least for the Pittsburgh Steelers on Monday. I do want to say, though, I do agree that, Steelers haven't really played too well against the division. They played to their opponents in terms of, if their opponents are really weak, I guess, or if they have terrible records, they usually play down to them.
They haven't played very many good teams.
Yeah, that's why Brandon Williams, who's in the chat, shout out to everyone in the chat, Benizel, Dante, Brandon, Corey, of course, Outlaw Kings. But Brandon in the chat did mention that, they are 11-0, but they're probably the weakest 11-0 team you could possibly imagine because the Steelers haven't played too well, right? Like
I wouldn't say weakest 11-0 team. I mean, they're not the best, but let's not act like
their competition. That's what they beat. Who was in front of them,
right?
I get that. At the same time, though, their defense is carrying the team at this point. Big Ben Roethlisberger, I know he's a Super Bowl champion. He's an elite quarterback, but he hasn't played too well this year. So I feel like if we do put up points against that defense, we have a good chance of winning. But that's a huge if, right? It's the Steelers' defense. Very, very hard to score points against them. But I do think if we win the game, Antonio Gibson has to have a good game. He does. Dubs Gibson, right?
Dubs Gibson.
Dubs Gibson. But moving on a little bit from the game, how do you guys think we do the rest of the season? Do you guys think we'll still be in the NFC East divisional contention by the end of the season? Do you think we'll, lose our next 3 games, force ourselves out? I know it's the NFC least, so nobody's technically out, but what do you guys think about the rest of the season for us? And do you think we're the front runners actually right now in the NFC East? And we'll start with Dubs right now.
I still believe we're the front runners in this division. I argue with Warpath on that all the time. Yeah. I don't know if y'all know that, but yeah, man, I believe. I don't know. I think we can still win about 3 games. I can see us getting 3 games out of this division, out of the left.
Where did the 3 games come?
The Niners don't scare me. Even the Steelers don't scare me right now.
Confidence is key.
The Panthers don't. I mean, that's 3 games right there I gave you. So,
yeah.
I know you guys are scared of the Steelers. I can see it in your face, but I'm not. I'm confident in this team.
Mm-hmm. Confidence, like Tim said, it is key. It is key. But
you just the realest Warpath. Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, I just saw his comment. Yeah, I mean, again, confidence is key. I'll leave it at that. Tim, what are your thoughts?
So, we are. Oh, my dog's here. We are a 4-7 team. Most of our wins have come, or 3 of our wins have come against the NFC East. The other one coming against a Burrowless Bengals. I do think similarly to when we crushed the Cowboys the first time, a lot of people thought we were going to start running away, and then we come back and lose to the lowly Giants again, which was just absolutely terrible. And I think, honestly, we'll probably end up going 1-4 to finish this stretch, which would make us not in the playoffs. If we win 3, we're in. I think that's a guarantee. Winning 2 is going to be tough because the Giants are still there, and Giants have the tiebreaker over us, and also the Eagles have the tiebreaker over us, or not over us, but they have the tie, so that if they get the same amount of wins, they would be in. So it's going to be tough. We can beat the Panthers. I don't like the 49ers as far as, I think Kyle Shanahan's a great coach. I know he's had his problems in the Super Bowl, but he's going to have that team ready.
We owe him one. He talked too much when he come here.
Yeah, that's true. And then it's funny, actually, the Seahawks might not be the worst matchup for us. We've actually gone into Seattle and beaten Russell before. So and they do not have they're another team with actually a suspect defense. So I would actually like our chances against Seahawks more than the Niners, personally. But can we win 3? Definitely. More likely to win 2. And then, honestly, if I was going to bet on it, honestly, I think we only beat the Eagles at the end. But as I said earlier, we got to play the games.
Yeah, but I don't think the Giants will be there with Colt McCoy at quarterback.
Well, Colt McCoy will play one more week and get hurt again, and then we'll go on to their third quarterback, whoever that may be.
Yeah. The thing is,
watch his fibias, all right? Got to watch the fibia.
I mean, the thing is, though, Dubs, they weren't going to win their next couple games anyways, right? Even with Denny fumbles, so...
So who are we saying going to win the division then? The Cowboys?
I mean, let's get Juan in first.
Well, before I, give my opinion on it, shout out to B Nizzle, that's my guy. He says Morgan Moses is not a Pro Bowler. Stop it. But if you look at the last post that Washington made, he is actually on the Pro Bowl voting list. So he is technically a Pro Bowler. And it's not only for everybody because they narrowed it down. Only on the offense is Morgan Moses, Terry, Antonio Gibson. So those are our three that have a chance of making it to the Pro Bowl. So he is a Pro Bowl if you want to say. It's just a matter of us fans voting him in. So Morgan Moses is a Pro Bowler in my eyes. But got off a little topic here. But what do I expect our records to be? I'm gonna say 8. I don't know. I want to say 7-9, but I'm gonna go with 8. Only because I feel like
is the hope or the expectation?
You said the goal.
The hope, the goal or the expectation.
Okay, so the expectation is 7-9, but my goal is obviously 9-7. Who doesn't want to win out? So I'm gonna say 7-9. We win a division, but 9-7 is what I hope is gonna happen. Like you guys said, Pittsburgh doesn't scare me at all. Although they are 11-0, I just feel like that it's just something with this team that we're gonna expose. I feel like we have a lot of confidence.
I love your confidence. I hope you guys are right, and I'm sitting here with my hands. I'll gladly be wrong. I will be gladly.
No, I'm on your side. I think
know them too. They've been beating our butt, but we still lead. Don't we lead them when we play 42 games to 33? So,
who'd you say? I didn't hear you.
I said, don't we lead them when we play all time? We have 42 wins. They have 33.
I don't know that. That's interesting. That's cool.
Go ahead, Juan. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine, man. We having a debate here. But like I said, man, I really think I have a feeling, and every time I have this feeling, I always get sad because it never pulls through. But I have a feeling that we're going to upset Pittsburgh, man. I just feel like the team is going to expose something that that Pittsburgh is lacking, and that we can use every team that they played in NFC East as film. You know what I'm saying? New York, they wasn't that good. Dallas, they weren't that good. Philly, they weren't that good. All three of those games, they almost lost. So if we can look at that and look at this game tonight that they play against the depleted Baltimore Ravens, and we can expose that, I really think we have a good chance. Then after that, we have San Francisco. I don't know, man. That might be the most challenging game. And you guys might look at me like I'm crazy, but they just came off a good win versus LA. Family business they handled. That they always own LA. You know what I'm saying? For some reason, Jared Goff and Sean McVay cannot beat Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers for some reason. So they swept LA. Then they have Buffalo this week. That'll be intriguing to see how they match up. You know what I'm saying? Is that this week or next week? I think that's next week. I'm not sure. But whoever they play after that, well, no, they play them this week because then they play us next week. Okay, so that game should be interesting to see. And like I said, guys, I know the 49ers are depleted, but that game might be the most game that could really chop us. And then the Seattle game, I just feel like, once again, they're going to have to fly to us, flying from the West Coast to here. That can give us somewhat of an advantage. And if we can get after Seattle, and if you guys watched the Monday night game with Seattle and Philly, Louis Riddick actually said that Washington is probably the most challenging game they have left on their schedule. And if you guys seen what Philadelphia was doing to their offense, they had their offense bottled up. And then Philly's offense, which is atrocious, made for the Seattle defense look good. And we know Seattle's passing defense is right down there at the worst in the league with Dallas. So that Seattle game doesn't scare me at all. The Panthers game is probably another tricky game because if they start P.J. Walker, which I believe they have a better chance at winning when they start P.J. Walker, if they start him, that could be another tricky game, but I feel like we'll pull it out. And Philly game, I think we're going to get the Bruins out again. So that's my bold and my goal, but more realistically than not, I believe 7-9.
Okay. For me, my expectation is probably 6-10. Hope is 7-9. I don't know. I think, well, first and foremost, like I mentioned earlier, I think we're gonna lose this week. I do want to say though, with the Steelers, right? I don't think they're gonna go undefeated. I don't think any of us think they're gonna go undefeated this year. And maybe a loss is coming this week. Hopefully that happens. But at the same time, can't expect a win, especially off a big win that we had against the Cowboys last week, and maybe we suffer some sort of a letdown this week in terms of our entire team. But I can't predict a win this week. With the 49ers, though, they just beat the Rams. They're a tough team, man. They're starting to get healthier, right? They were depleted with injuries, and they're still, I believe, with 5-6. So it tells you about the coaching staff that they have. I know Tim mentioned like how great of a coach that Kyle Shanahan is, and I I know he needs the weapons to get to the Super Bowl, obviously. What coach doesn't? But, I mean, he's been coaching his heart out this year, even with all those injuries. So 49ers are a very, very tough test. I'd probably go with a win against the 49ers still, although it's a really tough game. And Kyle Shanahan always loves playing against Washington. No matter what his team's record is, he always loves playing against us, always likes rubbing it in. The fact that he went to a Super Bowl on another team after leaving us. And after that, Seahawks, probably going to mark that down as a loss. He got Russell Wilson. I know he has sort of not been playing too well the last couple of weeks. I get that, I really do. But Russell Wilson, he is a Richmond native, actually, and maybe he shows out against Washington football team. Who knows? But I do think the Seahawks just have too much talent to not win against us. So I'll probably mark that down as a loss. Panthers, another tough test. Juan talked about it. They're an underrated team, man. And with PJ Walker, they actually do look better. Their offense always is pretty fun to watch, but PJ Walker does make them better, at least on offense. And Panthers defense has actually stepped up this year. Has been better than what a lot of people thought they were going to be. So that's another tough test there. So I'll probably put that as a toss-up at this point, but I do think we'll beat the Eagles at the end of the year. So I think ultimately the Panthers game might be the big game, might be the one that determines whether we win the division or not. What are you guys' thoughts on that schedule?
When we start,
going to pan out that way?
I don't know. My optimism wants to say we're gonna finish better than that, but at the same time, I gotta be a realist. So I'm gonna stick with my gut and unfortunately say 7-9. Although I want to be wrong and say 9-7 or 8.
I think we all want to be wrong. Yeah.
I think we going 7-9 too. That's what I think. And I say 7-9 will win this division.
Yeah.
Oh, 7-9 will definitely win. If we get 7-9, we're in. That if we win 3 of our next 5, we're definitely in. 2 is a maybe, but I think if we only win 1, we're going to be the outside looking in because I think the Giants will get at least 1 more because they have Dallas, and then also they could even steal another one with maybe the Browns or Arizona where they could get a potential upset because they have a really good defense. The Giants does. So they're the ones that I think are. I said before this week that I thought the Cowboys were going to take the division. But because they had gotten 2 linemen back, O-linemen, and I thought their defense would eventually figure it out because they've had 6 guys on the team that have been previous Pro Bowlers in previous years. So I thought their defense would eventually figure it out. But they lost both of those O-linemen they got back when they played us in the first quarter. And then their defense isn't going to figure it out. They're that bad. So I am completely out on the Cowboys now. And then I think Giants are the next closest. But if we win 2, we have a chance.
Yeah, I think the Giants are too. But the division, still it's a weak division. We all know that. Anything can happen, and all 4 of these teams have divisional matchups coming up. So a lot will be determined next couple of weeks.
So if we beat the Steelers, are all y'all gonna say the same thing about our team? Because man, every time. Like when Dallas won, who they play? Was it Minnesota? Minnesota. Mm-hmm. And everybody's like, man, Washington can't beat that team. Washington can't. Oh, Dallas.
Everybody.
Man. And then when we beat them, oh, man, we just beat a sorry team. So we don't want to even give our team no credit.
Right. Well, I'll be the first to say if we beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, my confidence for going 9-7 just went from the floor to out the roof because we literally just gave the only undefeated team left their first loss. So we have the right to be confident and believe that we're going to go 9-7, and especially with Daniel Jones being out for the New York Giants for probably a week. And let's just be honest, if the hamstring injury is as bad as it a lot of people think, then it could linger, and I don't know if they want to put their franchise quarterback out there just for this chance this year because it could end up leaning into next year. So I don't know how New York is going to take that. So like I've been making this reference all week, you guys know the State Farm commercial with the little dollar on the thing, and it's like you got to be quicker than that. That's the NFC East, and we're the person trying to get the dollar. and it's like it's there, but we gotta get it, and it's just like it's in our face. We gotta get it. We gotta get it, man. It's like it's there for the taking.
Yeah.
I understand it sounds flip-floppy, okay?
Yeah.
But they had gotten healthier, and then they lost their linemen again. Like, for the Cowboys, that is. But that's fine. It's all right. If we beat the Steelers, yeah, all bets are off. We're in, no doubt, in my opinion. Like, we're not going to lose we're not going to beat the Steelers and then lose to the Eagles and the Panthers. We'll win at least one of those games, probably two, and then we should be in with 3 wins. So that's huge. As I said, if we got 3, we're in. And then I think with 2, there's a very good chance we're in, because that means the Giants. I think the Giants should lose to the Cardinals and the Browns, but I'm just saying they could potentially upset it, which might make it a little iffy for 2. I only have one more win for the Giants, and that's the Cowboys, I believe, right? That's all they have left is the Cowboys in our division. But anyway, so and if we beat the Steelers, yeah, all bets are. I mean, that's just fantastic. And I said we do have a chance to beat them. They lost Dupree, which is nice. But Big Ben. Oh, go ahead.
I think we need to go up on them. I think our defense would stop a lot of offenses if we can just put up points first.
Yeah, we are 0 on our opening drive right now.
Yeah.
We have yet to score on the opening drive.
We about to be week 13. So.
Sorry for interrupting you, Tim.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'm going to interrupt the heck out of you next time. No, I was kidding.
No, but it should be interesting. Again, like, we all hope that we're wrong, right? We all hope that Washington wins. The problem is, like, we've had too much.
No, Dubs and Juan are confident. They're coming in hot. We're beating the Steelers. What's your scores? I'm curious. Is that a question you were going to ask?
24-21.
Okay. You got, what is that?
21?
24?
21.
24-21.
Well, I'm not gonna say we're gonna beat them, but my confidence as a fan wants us to beat them. So my prediction is, we'll lose, but hey, why not, man? My prediction for us winning, I think it's gonna be a game similar to this. Our offense will be a little bit better, but I think it's gonna be a close dog fight. I'm gonna go and say 23-17 Washington.
23-17. That's probably a game that we would have in order. But there'd probably be more field goals because they're going to drive on us because that's just what the defense has decided. We're going to let them get to the red zone, but we're going to stop you in the red zone. So it'll probably be a more ugly score, like 23-19 or something ugly.
Before I came on stream, I said that we were going to lose to Pittsburgh, but then since all this talk, it kind of made me switch my answer. But at the same time, in my prediction video, I predicted for us to lose. So it's like, I don't know. It's keep flip-flopping because I'm a fan and I want to win. But at the same time, I got to be a realist and, see that we're going up against the undefeated team.
Yeah. Personally, I would probably go 24-17 Pittsburgh right now. I think it's going to be a tight game. Don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I don't know, guys. Like, again, I'm hoping that we win, but I just think Pittsburgh has too many weapons, especially on that defense, even without Bud Dupree. And Deontay Johnson, we haven't talked about him, but he's kind of been balling out in that Pittsburgh receiving core. I don't know if he did today. He probably didn't because they didn't score too many points. But
yeah, I don't know what he ended up with today. He's got a lot of talent, Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, a lot of talent, gets a lot of targets. I mean, we have our hands.
And he's their number 3. Juju and Chase are 1 and 2. And then Deontay, well, they may play Deontay as the number 2, but in reality, he should be number 3. But no, he's got a lot of talent. He seems like a ding dong when I watched him against the Giants, but he's super talented. He's got a lot of quickness.
Yeah. So we definitely it's definitely going to be a tough test, and hopefully we do end up getting that W though, of course. But moving on from the matchup though, I just wanted to ask you guys a general question about the Washington football team, and I was wondering if you guys, what do you guys think are the biggest needs on this team? Do you think we'll address many of these needs in the offseason, maybe with the draft and the boatload of cap room that we have? What do you guys think, the state of the franchise is right now? I know there's a lot of talk been going around about the name, right? The Washington football team keeping their name through next year. So I was just wondering, what are your guys' thoughts on all those issues? And we can start with Dubs this time.
Man, we need a left tackle, a linebacker, a wide receiver, maybe a safety. We need a whole lot, man. And Oh, man. I don't know. I kind of don't want to draft. I know a lot of people want to draft a quarterback again.
No.
I don't want to draft another quarterback. I don't want to go through that process all over again. Because then where's our offensive line at? Can we protect them?
Yeah.
I mean, and get rid of Dan Snyder, please. I don't like that guy.
If only possible. Yeah.
I know it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
If all Redskins fans hired a hitman, can they arrest all of us? If we all pitched in, could they arrest? No, I'm just kidding.
And I used to be for Dan, but then I done seen all. I don't know how old everybody is, but
Yeah.
I'll give you. I'm 40 years old, so I done seen all these years of turmoil.
You look great for 40.
Thanks, man. But,
You look not a day over 39.
Man, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just tired of it. Every year, Dan gives us something, and we're like, man, this is it. We got this and we got that, and then we fall right on our face again.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It starts at the top with this. It starts at the top, and maybe bringing in Ron will correct some of this stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm hoping.
We've seen glimpses of that already, right?
Yeah.
Stability. Juan, what are your thoughts about the state of the franchise, some of our needs? What do you think?
Yeah, honestly, my answer isn't too different from Dub's. I really do believe that it starts up top, and I feel as though it's not going to be nothing, I wouldn't say different, but we're never probably going to win a championship unless Dan Snyder is gone. You know what I'm saying? He could try to cover it up with the Ron Rivera hire. Ron Rivera was a phenomenal hire, but it starts at the top. I mean, but hey, like Dan Snyder, he came out and said that he stepped back and he gave full control to Ron Rivera. But that could all be pillow talk. We don't really know till we see action. You know what I'm saying? So as far as the needs goes, I'm with Dubs again. I don't want to draft a quarterback. I don't want to start this process all over again. Everybody wants the Zach Wilson, the Trey Lance. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? I think that the smart thing is to do, if we don't want to go with Haskins, trade away Haskins, have Alex to be the quarterback for the next 2 years, and then at that time and point, I don't know if this franchise is confident in them, but if they are, have Kyle Allen take over. Kyle Allen, in his short span before his injury, he showed that he could run this offense. And if he could just sit behind Alex Smith for the next 2 years, he could take over and be lights out. I'm not comparing him to Mahomes, not at all. He doesn't possess the talent that Mahomes possesses, but I'm just saying, you've seen what Alex Smith did for Mahomes, and why can't he do that for our young guy? And I just don't want to draft another quarterback. I want to spend my first round draft pick on either left tackle or Micah Parsons if we get that high. I'm not a big believer, especially with this franchise either. I'm not a big believer in drafting a wide receiver in the first round because we don't need to. We found Terry McLaurin in the third round. We found Antonio Gibson in the third round. We found Kelvin Harmon in the sixth round, sixth or fifth round.
Sixth round, you're right. Yep.
We found Antonio Gandy Golden in the fourth. No, I'm just saying these are guys that aren't number one guys like a Terry McLaurin is, but they're for sure a player that plays a role on everybody's team. And let's just be honest, I believe if Kelvin Harmon never got hurt, he would be the number 2 right now. So I'm saying.
We also have cap room, right, to go spend, on a wide receiver if we need to. Maybe get a Kenny Galladay, a Juju who we're playing this week, or maybe, a different receiver. Who knows? But we do have cap room. Tim?
I want to draft Trey Lance. I disagree with you, too. But, no, I love Trey Lance. He doesn't turn the ball over, but yet he's got stats through the roof, which is really important to me because even though you're slinging it around everywhere, you are also not turning it over. So it shows smart quarterback play. But he also can move. He reminds me of Russell Wilson 2.0 is what he reminds me of. He ran a 4.6 right behind 4.56, I think is what Russell ran. And smart quarterback, similar size. So that's who he reminds me of, and I would like that. And I wouldn't even mind having Alex Smith start next season and have him sit a year behind like a Mahomes did. That's fine with me. But I do like Trey Lance a lot. We definitely have other needs, though. Middle linebacker is a big, big need, and do not talk to me about Reuben Foster. I don't want to hear about Reuben Foster. He's has yet to play a single down for us, and I don't want to hear anything about Reuben Foster. So we definitely need to address that in the offseason. I'm not as worried about receiver as a lot of people are. I'm more worried about tight end as far as the offensive room. We need to address the tight end spot. I don't mind Logan Thomas as a number 2 tight end, but we need somebody much better than Logan Thomas as a tight end. Safety, Troy Apke needs to go away, never come back. Yeah, that's pretty much the needs I see. As far as the Washington football team name, I do not want to be the Washington football team. Obviously, I would like to keep our old name, but I would like to see the Red Wolves. I'm a big Red Wolves believer, and there's a lot of cool stuff with the Red Wolves. First of all, obviously, we can keep our HTTR, Howl to the Red Wolves instead of Hail to the Red Wolves, or the old one. And then you have, you could keep our song, just change a few lyrics. You have Howl to the Red Wolves. You can have, no other team really is the Wolf, not in the NFL. And also, there's only, the Timberwolves, and I don't know if anybody else really with the Wolf team. Wolf fights in a pack. It's a very team-oriented animal. You could have third down, bring out the full moon on a Monday night, let the Wolves come out. You have the Wolf Pack fan base. You can call the stadium the Den. There's so many cool things here. And
native
also,
to the DMV too, right?
What's that?
The Red Wolf native to the DMV.
Yeah, I was just about. Yep, you can get PETA points. Okay, the PETA can help come in and actually give you some. We're bringing awareness to an endangered species that used to span all the way from Texas to Pennsylvania. Now they're just into the North Carolina, like in the North and South Carolinas. So we're bringing attention to an endangered species. I'd like to get rid of all race and everything away. Somebody said in my chat the Red Tails. First of all, have you guys heard of the Red Tails magazine? You don't want to Google it, and you don't want that anything around our around our team. Okay, it's a very stupid magazine that nobody should go Google. But I promise you that will come up if that becomes our name, and you do not want to see that posted all over Twitter after you lose. So I'm a big into the Red Wolves, and I hope that's the direction we go.
Before I give my thoughts, I do want to, again, shout out all the people in the chat. I see AM Hunter joined. And my Thanksgiving was great. Thanks for asking. Hope yours was as well. Down south, I see you. Thank you for joining. Brandon as well, Outlaw as well, and Monte. So for my final thoughts, and we'll probably just wrap up my video on the live stream, here. But my final thoughts, I do agree, first and foremost, with all the needs that Tim just addressed. We need a middle linebacker. We need a tight end. I'm also in the same boat in agreeing that, we need a tight end over maybe a wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3. I just think, for a young quarterback, if we end up drafting one, tight end, perfect security blanket. And if we do end up getting someone like a Kyle Pitts out of Florida, that would be great. Or maybe if we get a different tight end in the second or third round, that would also be great. I just think we need to address the situation because Logan Thomas, I think he's shown all of us that he isn't more than a tight end 2 at this point. He should serve the Vernon Davis type role, right, that Vernon Davis served here in DC, and nothing more and nothing less, in my opinion. I do think the offensive line is sort of an issue, but more so just the left tackle. Maybe draft a tackle in the second or third round, spend some draft capital there, or maybe some free agency capital, who knows. But I think we can address a lot of our needs in free agency. We are projected to have $50 million in cap space about right now. Maybe we can open up some more cap space, probably not cut Alex Smith at this point, like a lot of us were thinking last offseason, but can still find ways to get some more cap room. But in terms of the quarterback situation, though, I think the jury's still out in terms of us drafting a quarterback early specifically. I think we'll draft a quarterback regardless, but I think with Alex Smith, if he continues to play well, maybe we don't draft a quarterback in the first round. Maybe we stick with him for another year and play things out. But I am in the boat of Zach Wilson. If we do end up drafting quarterback, being here in DC, I'm a huge fan of Zach Wilson. I've seen a lot of tape from him, game tape, watched some games. I know he doesn't play against really good opponents, right? He plays for BYU, but I think he's been balling out, and he does give me, I know it's a big jump, but he does give me Mahomes-type vibes in the fact that he's a gunslinger, doesn't turn over the ball, and would be a great here in DC. But last but not least, the name. I think it's tough because I understand the old timers who think right now, obviously with the name already changed, right? So we can't really do anything about that. But I understand people who want it to stay the Washington football team because of the fact that they can still call it the Redskins, right? They can still call it the old name because we technically don't have a new name yet, I guess, if that makes sense. I understand that point. But if you really want to get the young generation to rally around this team, right? If you want to really get the DMV people, people of like my generation and on this team, becoming fans of this team, moving away from the Ravens, right? Because the Ravens are pretty much stealing a lot of team fans in this area, especially young fans. I think you have to go with something like the Red Wolves, right? You have to go with a new name, build a new brand, and go from there, right? We have a new coach, right? Ron Rivera, showing a lot of promise, a young team that's shown a lot of promise. And I think the only necessary step that we have next, I guess, is the new name. But I'll just end it there. Thank you guys for joining the stream. Tim, Juan, Doves, I really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you very much for having us.
And hopefully we collab in the future, and hopefully we get a win on Monday against the Steelers. Hopefully Doves.
I better see y'all all up in Warpath stream after if we get the win. Juan, you stream too, huh, during the game, right?
Yeah, I stream every game.
I'll pop up in there if we win. We can go nuts.
Yeah. I mean, again, hopefully we win, right? Regardless of our predictions.
No, there ain't no hope. We gonna win, bro.
We'll see.
Confidence is key.
Yeah.
So before we leave, actually, guys, it just came out that Bud Dupree has a torn ACL. So that we kind of caught a break. But I know that sucks for the Steelers. And then the last thing I want to say was I didn't really give my touch on the name. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but I'm fine with the Washington football team name. I know a lot of people want a name, but at this point, I'm used to the football team, and it's kind of grown on me. I don't really care about being the Washington football team. I don't really care about the Red Wolves. If they chose a new name, fine. But if you want to stick with the Washington football team, I'm cool with that. I honestly, it rubbed off on me, and the Washington football team is cool with me now. Go football team, baby.
I think if we win with it, ain't nobody gonna even care. If we get some Super Bowls in it, I don't think anybody gonna care anymore.
Yeah.
But look at Tim. Tim's like, heck no.
Tim, it feels like you got something to say.
Oh, I said it already. I do not want Washington football team. I just do not. It's terrible. It also, I mean, you want to get away from the Redskins, right? Like that's their goal. That's why they changed the name. So since you want to get away from it, if you keep it Washington, you're going to have more mess ups on live TV of somebody saying the Redskins. You're going to have fans still show up in Redskins gear. I mean, you're going to have it either way, but it's going to be even worse because you didn't get a new mascot for somebody to get behind. But it's the HTTWFT. No, I just don't like that hashtag whatsoever. And I don't like WFT. I want an R. I want an R back.
Yeah.
Give me the HTTR.
Yeah.
Howl to the Red Wolves, baby.
No, because I always slip up and I still say Red. I'm just used to it.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we shall see, right? Jason Wright is in control of that. Fellow U Chicago alum is in control of that. So we'll see. But again, thank you guys for joining the stream. Thank you to everyone in the chat right now. AM Hunter, I see Kibbs is on here as well. Roger Smith, and we'll wrap it up right here. Again, hopefully we get the dub and come back next Wednesday with a victory stream, I guess. But yeah, thank you guys again.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me on, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks again, guys.
Definitely, no problem.
All right, guys, what's up? Just wanted to hop in and thank you guys for joining for sure. And yes, for Kevin, I will send you the Discord link. All right, for you guys still here? Anybody else still watching? Doesn't look like. Oh, there we go. Cool. A couple of you still here. So what do you guys think? Do you guys like the collab ideas, like the collab people? Did you like Dubs? Did you like Juan? And did you like Naughty? What do you guys think here, guys? Oh, Dubs family's here. We're gonna have to talk bad about you. You should probably leave. No, I was kidding. Yeah, Dominic posted a Red Tails thing. I guess that's what he looked up when it's his magazine. Hold on. Yeah, I thought I am subbed to all of them. They're all entertaining. Good. Yeah, okay. In my Discord, if you want to join the Discord, and I should have added spanking, I guess, to the Red Tail Spanking magazine. I'm about to post it into the Discord, and it's pretty sad. And this is something that we could be a part of here. Yeah, not good, not good. But anyway, all right, guys. I think I'm gonna get out of here. It was fun and perfect. I'm glad you subbed, Dominic. Hey, if your Dubs is still here, anybody else is still here, I will post the link again to the Discord. Join there, and we talk some football over there, and we have some fun. So feel free to join us. But yes, until next time, see ya.